Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Thursday. I should know the day. It's Rubber Duck Thursdays. How y'all doing? Man, this music is such a vibe. Let's just do this the entire stream and not code anything. We need the break, right? Yeah, Friday Junior. That's exactly what it feels like. So something about this week, I have had Friday vibes all day. All day. It is very much not Friday, but that is the vibe I have for sure. Okay. Ooh, that just stopped the music so suddenly. Wait, is it your birthday? Are you wishing happy birthday to me? It's not my birthday. Oh, is this going to be a thing? It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. I've made my peace with it. For those who don't know the context, last week my little sister is such a little sister, and she always wishes me happy birthday whenever I stream anywhere, all the time. It's not my birthday. My birthday's in December. But now, whenever I stream, whenever I give talks, anybody who knows that says happy birthday to me. And it's both funny, but I'm also like, this is getting out of hand. And so anyway, thank you for the wishes. It is not my birthday, but I appreciate the thought. It was actually it actually happened. I was giving a talk in Berlin last summer and someone shouted it in the audience in front of like hundreds of people, and all these people were like, "Yay!" and cheering and stuff. And I was like, "Thank you, but it's not real. I'm gonna give my talk now." It's fine. What can you do? It is what it is. How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. Welcome. Thought we might code some today. I haven't decided what to code. I'm in the mood to work on like my blog or something, but I'm down to work on whatever y'all want to work on. We could experiment with some cool features. We could do whatever. We could do whatever. I'd like to hear about you. What are you working on these days? I was watching Andrea. She was streaming earlier and was talking with Danny Thompson about open source and AI and how they worked with Wikipedia and Wikimedia on that, and it was super interesting. I highly recommend checking out the recording for that when you get a chance. And oh, I also, before we get too deep into things, wanted to share a fun little contest. And let me plop the URL in the chat and you can see. Spread love this Valentine's Day with GitHub Spark. You can write a fun little Valentine's Day poem to your favorite open source project, maintainer, what have you, and you can get early access to GitHub Spark. It's kind of cool, right? Yeah. It's cute. It's fun. Have y'all seen GitHub Spark? I would love to show you if you haven't seen it. Hey Allie, what up? I'll yeah, actually let me show you because GitHub Spark is cool if you haven't seen it. Long story short, you can just type in an app idea and it helps you make it, and you can use natural language to come through your ideas, and it's been pretty cool. I've made a few different ones. Dad joke generator app. This Minesweeper game for Discord was one that I was truly just experimenting with, but I thought was very fun, where you can generate a Minesweeper board and it uses the Discord spoiler tags to generate a Minesweeper game, and you can play in Discord chat. I thought that was kind of fun. Anyway, yeah, it's got some really cool things that you can make with it. So I could show you an example. I actually have a question about your blog. I was wondering if you were storing your content anywhere. If so, where? How do you retrieve the data and use it? Sure. Yeah. No, I'm happy to talk about that really quick. Yeah, I'll do that now, and then we'll come back to GitHub Spark. So good question. So my blog is actually the template for it is open source, and so you can check it out on this URL right here. Also, don't be sorry for the long question. It's a good question. So this is the URL, github.com/Cassidy/blag. That's how Chicagoans spell it. That's a joke. We can speak English. But anyway, so the way the content is stored is truly just a folder of markdown files, and that's it. And the images are in a folder in this repo as well. The public folder specifically. This is where they live. That is the entire thing. And the way it works actually is it so that this is like the blog template that you see in that repo where you can go and look at the actual posts and see how it renders code, how it renders block quotes and tables and stuff. You can style it however you want. But the way that it works is if you want to make a new post, you can just add a markdown file to this folder. And so like this is the hello world one where it's literally just markdown words. And then if you want to make edits to it, or if you want to use the actual CMS, I have it set up with Tina CMS. And Tina CMS, oh, excuse me, while I log in with GitHub, I'm going to just let that log in for just a moment. Please hold. Please authenticate. Please make me look good. Come on, blog. It's taking a minute, so 1 second. But anyway, you can log in there and edit the files directly in Tina CMS. And even though it's a fully static blog, and then from there, it'll actually make a Git commit for you. So that way it'll keep everything in sync with Git. And so that is how content is stored. That is how it all works. And because that is taking too long, I will actually just show you the one that I'm using for my blog. So please hold, and I'll share my screen again. 1 second. Okay. So on my blog here, okay, on my blog, various posts. This is not meant to be a plug for my blog, but this is the blog. And you can check it out at cassidoo.blog, cassidoo.co/blog. Ooh, I should get a .blog domain name. No, I shouldn't. Anyway, you could see this reordering git commits post. This was actually based on a question that someone had in the chat here a few weeks ago, where I wrote this post in Markdown and plopped it in here. But if I want to look at it in Tina CMS, I go to my blog/admin. You can go there, but you need to log in with GitHub to access it, so it's not going to work for you. But it shows all of my posts in the CMS, and so it'll let me do like the title, the slug for it, any tags and dates and stuff, and then I can edit it in Markdown itself or with the rich text editor, and it'll just work. And once again, it makes an actual commit to the Git repo when you edit it in Tina CMS. So anyway, that is a very long response to your question, storing content, but GitHub is amazing. Shameless plug. That is how it all is stored. Oh, and Kadesha just discovered my game Jumbly. Yeah, if you want to play my game Jumbly, jumbly.com. This was a fun game that I made. I'll share, if I do say so myself. I'll post a link here. This was a fun game because I over-engineered it to heck. Unnecessarily so, because I didn't use any web frameworks. It's all plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And the way it works is there's a theme of the day, and then kind of like New York Times connections, you have to find like words where with connections it's connecting 4 words together based on a theme. These are connecting letters together to make words. And yeah, that is the theme for the day. What are some crafts? Knit? Is that one? Nice. So the red word is always the easiest word, and then it gets harder from there. Does anybody see any other ones? You can hit space to shuffle, or you could click the button. Oh, and there's also settings for like dark mode or light mode. You could say that you want the letters to be lowercase, or uppercase. You can turn on visibility assist. The visibility assist makes it so that way instead of just colors as indicators, there's also a dot. I'm going to put that back to lowercase and change everything. Also, the dark theme isn't working. I'll fix that. Anyway, candy. That's not a craft. Can anybody think of another word that you can see? Macrame. Nope, it's not in there. Good one. Ooh, crayon. That's a good one. Crayon. Nice. Killing it. Killing it. The words are always like 4 is the smallest number of words. Paint. Oh, that's a good one. Nope, there's no P. Watercolor. No. I was about to say acrylic, but I don't see a Y. Draw. Good one. Ooh, nice. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so that means this is the last one. All I see is crime, and it's definitely not crime. You know, crime could be a craft, but we need to use other letters. The macrame isn't it? I tried that one. There's only one M. But good try. Good try. Oh, ceramic. Oh my gosh, Kadesha. Genius. Look at that. And then when you share your score, I'll paste it in the chat. That's what it looks like. Although it usually has new lines in there, but you can then share your speed and everything. That one is also fully open source. And so if you want to check it out, hang on one second. github.com/cassidy/jumbly. You can see how I built it in there. And I've also blogged about how I built it too, and how I set up. I made it so it like uses an actual database to populate the words and everything. It was a very cool project, but it eventually became way too hard to maintain. And it's one of those things that has been very bittersweet for me because I love making games like this. I think it's so fun. But coming up with a word and themes every single day is very, very hard. And so I did it for a full year, and I wrote a whole blog post about it, which you can find at the bottom of the page where it says the future of Jumbly, where I say I'm going to stop making Jumbly puzzles now because it was really fun to see people playing the game and it was doing well, quote unquote. But coming up with puzzles was so time consuming because AI wasn't as helpful as you'd expect. Because if you give AI certain constraints, like an LLM certain constraints, you could say, oh, I want words to be a certain length at any given time, for example, like 4 to 9 letters was the constraint I did. LLMs are very bad at counting. And you need to count letters to give it those kinds of restraints and so and conditions. And so it would go based on like the vibe of what the word should be rather than the actual length. And I was like trying to write scripts that would verify what an LLM would come up with. It would always be good for like about 10 to 20 words if I wanted to use it to generate puzzles, but it just wasn't working. I ended up talking to crossword puzzle editors for like Apple News, and I talked with puzzle editors for like Bloomberg, like various big publications for advice, where I was just like, how do I make this more efficient? Because coming up with a puzzle every day doesn't sound taxing, but it is, especially like when you're dealing with time zones and stuff. And yeah, exactly. I love the example of how many R's are in strawberry, and then the AI believe that it's wrong. It's very real. Like the conclusion that I came to after a ton of work on this was there's a reason why being a puzzle editor is an actual job. And this is one of those puzzles that you can't necessarily automate. There's other puzzles that you can, like a Sudoku generator. That can be generated and automated because it's numbers. You can do various puzzles. Like, for example, there's one on my GitHub profile called, let's see, Flapjack Fwop. This one. I will share the link in the repo for it in the chat. This one automatically generated. It's very, very simple, where you're trying to get pancakes, butter on all the pancakes, and as you click, it toggles the pancakes on or off as you click on various different pancakes here and there. This can be generated, but words that fit a particular theme cannot. They simply cannot. Not past a certain point. So anyway, that is a bit of the story with Jumbly there. Let's see, Rhea, is it bad I expected to see Smack Rubber Ducks? That's what this little guy up there is. There's one underneath your chat right here too, right there. No, I think it's great. This is Rubber Duck Thursdays because we're talking things out. We're rubber ducking our problems. Anyway, that was a whole rant that I didn't expect to have. Anyway, it's fun to make games and puzzles, and I love doing it because it kind of makes my brain think in different ways. But for a game like Jumbly, I loved working on this game. It's just truly a labor of love, and I had a lot of fun setting up statistics and all kinds of stuff, and doing it like in a fully static, engineered way that didn't have to be engineered that way, but it was fun. But I can't maintain it anymore. It's too much work. Okay, we went off on tangents. I love tangents. I hope you do too. But I wanted to show you GitHub Spark because it's neat. So once again, we do have a contest if you want to check it out, and I pasted it in the chat. That gh.io/duckrose. Get it? Because duck is here, Rose, Valentine's Day. Anyway, if you go in there, you could get early access to GitHub Spark if you enter the contest to write a poem to an open source project, and it's very cute. But you can use GitHub Spark to generate apps, and so we were talking about puzzles. Let's do a Sudoku puzzle. I wonder if it could do that. It could do that, right? Yeah, let's say a Sudoku puzzle generator with difficulty settings. With difficulty settings and hints available. Let's just see what it comes up with. We can do whatever we want. And so what's cool about GitHub Spark is you do like this plain English iterating, and you can do whatever tweaks you want with the prompting, but then you also have access to the code, and so you can kind of tweak the code and say, oh, I actually want to just manually change this because I know how to write this, and then you can kind of go back to it. Hello, welcome. Once again, it is not my birthday, but thank you. I appreciate the well wishes. Okay, oh, cool. Oh, okay. I like it, but I also don't. I don't like how this is set up, but I want to make sure that it works. So let's see. Where can I put a 1? 1, 1, 1. I can put a 1 right here. Wait, it doesn't let me type 1? Ah, a flaw. Okay. We need to fix all of that. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out just a tiny bit, and I want to look at the code because it should be expecting me to type something. I do like that it has difficulty. Easy, medium, hard. I'll do new game. Oh, so it has it where if I click on this, I can then click hint and it'll just fill it in. I don't like that. Okay, but that's okay. We weren't specific enough, and that is fine. So when I click this, it has an onClick function that is passed to Sudoku cell. On cell click, it does on cell click. Wow, they are passing so many functions down. I have a lot of opinions about this React code, but one thing at a time. Okay, handle cell click. Set selected cell. Cool. So you can set a selected cell, but that's it. There's nothing else you could do here. So I'm going to do some tweaking in the prompting before I actually change any code. Because, yeah. And I wonder if I get rid of justify between, what happens? They're kind of close. Oh, no, that's just the heading. I want to do it for the actual board itself. I don't like the style of this board. It has a gap 0. Sudoku cell with height, border neutral, item center. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm going to iterate on the prompt itself, not on the code. we can always go back to the code. So once again, this is how GitHub Spark works, where you can look at the code and kind of see how things are made. Come on, AI, we've adapted to bad requirements. Why can't you? Exactly. This is why we have job security. But it is really nice that it solves that. Okay. Make the columns closer together so it's proper grid, and make it so a user can type in a number to a particular cell. I should probably do one at a time. It's fine. Yeah, like whenever you're doing like the prompt engineering style of things, you typically want to only do like one task at a time, but you know what? We're pushing the limits. This particular one I'm using is using Claude Sonnet, but you can make it use other models if you want. It's a fun little tool. How do I phrase this? I think it's best used for like prototypes and micro apps, quote unquote. I wouldn't necessarily use GitHub Spark for something that's like production level, but also you probably shouldn't have a production level app completely generated anyway. But anyway, it's nice to have like little tasks and stuff. Am I late? No. We're just getting started. I'm using GitHub Spark to generate a Sudoku puzzle. And I don't like this spacing still, but that's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's see. This should be a 6 if I click in here. 6. Blammo! Look at that. It worked. Okay. Bare minimum, but it's something. Okay. Cool. I can't see any really early wins that I could have here, but oh wait. 8. 8s could go over here. Nope. Okay. Anyway, we got this done. If I like that you're continuing the game theme. Oh, we did tic-tac-toe in the CLI. That's awesome. That's so fun. How was your day, everyone? My day has been good. I've had a lot of meetings today. This is the highlight of my day. I'm always excited to be able to chat with y'all. Tell us about your day. Okay. So I want to make it so there's no spacing in here. I do like that it added these borders, but this spacing is going to bug me. I'm going to actually just look at the generated code here. Let's see. Is it because of how wide Oh, I see. Okay, so it might be because of how wide the page is. If I were to make this smaller, aha. I don't know if you see that. If I were to change this out, like the grid is great if it's this size. So we want to make it where it doesn't create that spacing. There should be a max width on that. So I'm going to say set a max width for the grid itself so that spacing isn't generated on wide screens. Oh, you were about to give me a solution. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, we'll work on actually solving a puzzle later. We could add a timer. Ooh, and make it a race. I love Sudoku puzzles. I know it's like it's a solved thing, but it does something nice in my brain. Oh. App is not defined. I don't like that, but the autofix thing is new. That was not a thing before. That's kind of nice. By the way, if you need me to zoom in, let me know. It's kind of fun. I wonder what it did. This is one of those things where if it doesn't work, I'll just go back to a previous iteration and edit the code myself. Because I don't know what it could possibly be rewriting that it just fully says that the app is not defined. Aha! Cool. So that messed something up. Yeah, that is not it. Although I do like how this looks better. I'm gonna go back to previous iteration, and then previous iteration. This one. Okay. Now I'm going to not click fix iteration, but edit the code. And now in here, let's see, Sudoku cell, Sudoku board is a grid. And I think this is me knowing how to write the CSS and not try to write the Tailwind. I think when you want to do the max width, it's like max W something, right? Max W something. You know what? Why am I looking this up? Why am I? I could just look at the documentation. So this is. Let's see. Each cell is width 8 and height 8. There's 9 of those, so 72. So it should be a max width of 72 units, whatever those are. Oh my gosh! Hang on one second. Tailwind sizing. Let me just look up how Tailwind does things. This is where I would rather just write the CSS, but that is okay. What? Okay. How do I do this? Width. Wait, that's what I was looking at? I just want, what is the pixel value of W8? Why did it choose Tailwind? It shouldn't be hard to do it. You know what? What if I just told it to not use Tailwind? Do you think it would get mad? Let's try it. Instead of using Tailwind, use vanilla CSS. Smart. Good question. Let's just have it not. I'm curious. I do think that the defaults that it picks are React and Tailwind for a lot of stuff, but I've been able to say like in vanilla HTML, CSS, JavaScript, write a thing, and then it will. And so that's probably some interesting commentary on like the future state of web development. If a lot of things are built on standards today, where one could argue that a lot of standards are basically a React and Tailwind code base, does that mean that we're kind of stuck in that if we continue using AI generated apps? I don't know. Oh, that looks terrible. Wow, lovely. But hey, I forgive you. I can, oh, that looks so bad. Okay. Can I still type things? Let's see. 333, there's a 3 right there. Cool. I can still type things. Let's make it less ugly. Cool. Beautiful. Why is it doing this? Okay, so the input has way too much padding. That is the answer to that. Is it still using Tailwind? Did you go off script? I think it's still using a little Tailwind. Maybe it's not, but it kind of feels like it is. Sudoku cell. Class Sudoku cell. Okay. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. Let's look at that. The class name, was it just Sudoku cell? Yes. Okay. Sudoku cell with height. Can I say padding 0? You could step back to the Tailwind version of the history and set the max width too. That's what I tried to do actually earlier, and the entire app broke. So that everything broke. I went back, and now we're just doing vanilla, and we'll see what happens. Probably not great that the entire app broke, but I'm just gonna let it happen. Okay. Where's that padding coming from? Huh. Oh, here it is. Wait, that says padding 0. Let's see. This is under. It's still showing Tailwind down here, which is very interesting to me. Like it's still applying Tailwind classes in the generated thing, even though it's not doing Tailwind. Oh, it must be the component. It must be using a this input component probably has some there's like some default design system components at the top up here. See GitHub Spark components. I don't know if you could see that. That must have some default styles. Okay, that's fine. We're rolling with it. That's cool. What if I did padding 0? Hmm? Does it live reload? Maybe. Maybe not. I hate that I'm doing important, but I just want to see things work. Okay, let me see. It is not applying, or rather it's applying it, but it's not doing anything. It's really just taking in this. Where are the other padding things coming from? Excuse me while I like quietly debug this in a really, really hard to see thing. I will try zooming in more, but I don't know if you'll be able to see a ton. Aha. More of that. Aha! Hooray! Okay, cool. How do I make that go away? Where is that from? Okay, cool. Well, I was able to fix it in that, but that is not... Oh, maybe I have to be explicit about padding left 0, padding right 0. I'm not sure. I'll think on this. I don't actually know what's happening because this is squished. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to refresh the page like a professional web developer. Okay. Okay. You know what? Maybe I will just go back to CSS. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Or go back to Tailwind. View history. We're going back. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We have gone back. We will iterate on this. Now it still uses some Tailwind, but it also uses some CSS. And so what I'm going to do is this grid, once again, you know what? I'm just going to copy this. That is about 30 pixels wide. That's 270. Let's see. Max width 270 pixels. How about that? Yeah, let's go. I know. Version control forever, ever. That is what it's all about. Does that get rid of the borders on the side? Hang on one second. If I do 279, aha! Basic math. Let's go. That's not what it should be. 282? Because each one was 30 point something. Cassidy, you are getting way too deep in the weeds here. 30.08. So that means it's... Oh my gosh. $270.72. Too specific. Cassidy, calm down. Okay, we're just going to stick with 280 and move on. Okay, we'll do 282. There we go. Whee! Okay, cool. So now we have a real grid. And does it let us type numbers? It looks like it does. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Threes can go in one of those two spots. 8, 8. Let's see, 5. If someone sees one, let me know. It's very nerve-wracking to try to do a puzzle while people are looking at you. Okay, 4s can go in here. Oh, wait, no. Okay, 1s can go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. 9s can go there. Wait, of 9, 9, then there's a 9 here. Wow, this is harder than I thought it would be. 1 second. Did not expect to be solving a puzzle rather than coding, but here we are. Is it actually creating solvable puzzles? I love that question. I certainly hope so because that is a great one. I actually think it is though. It looked oh no. Oh yes, no look is valid. Phew. It does check if something is valid. Wait, if I put a 1 here, does it do anything? No, it doesn't. Okay. Maybe I'll make it so it highlights a cell as incorrect. Oh, and also once I type a number, it's stuck there forever. Oh, no. Okay, cool. Let's fix this. Okay. So if let's see. Because right now there isn't a separation between numbers that are typed in and numbers that exist in the puzzle already. When a user types a number, it should be editable and do you want it to be a different color? And a dark gray font. How about that? Because then there's some separation. I'm going to join in a few moments. Joins 40 minutes later. Hello, welcome. I am trying to generate Sudoku puzzles with GitHub Spark, which is proving to be more of a UI problem than an actual puzzle problem. But hey, once again, I feel like this is a solved problem that it's interesting. It's cool to see. It's cool to think about. Okay, let's see what happens. We're adding a pinch of AI. This is it said whispering to the machines. How nice. Okay. So let's see. We have ones here. We have I'm going to see an easy win. 3. Okay. Cool. Can I edit this? No. What did you do? What was this iteration? Because it doesn't look like you did anything. That's okay. I shouldn't yell at AI. It's not its fault. But also, I think this is an invalid puzzle. Because given this, the 3 has to go here. But a 6 also has to go there. Because of this 6 and the 6 here. The puzzles are invalid. Okay, it whispered lies, all right. Okay. Confirm. Have you tried the hint functionality? I did. All it does was, if you click on a cell and click hint, then it fills it in. But what are you gonna do when I see? It's broken. It's broken because that can't be a 6, but that's the only option left. Okay. Anyway, at least that's something. I wonder if that printed an error to the console. Oh, it did. Well, no, it didn't. Okay, cool. So if, okay, this should always generate valid Sudoku puzzles. Pro tip. If you, AI is so dumb. I know. But hey, that's where we massage it and try to make it better. I highly recommend using a factor of shame with AI models and LLMs when you are doing some prompt engineering, because for some reason that actually, like, the vibes, prompt engineering is basically vibe driven development. The vibes make it do better. And so I'll say this should always generate Sudoku puzzles or valid Sudoku puzzles. If the generated puzzle is not a valid puzzle, your house will lose 10 points and your family will be ashamed. You'd be surprised how effective something like that works. I must agree with that, although I feel rude doing it. I know, same, but it's a machine. I worked on Sudoku solvers in college. Yeah. Yeah, I've messed with solvers before, but I've never actually done like an app that generates puzzles. And so it's been interesting to kind of see how this does that. But there's a whole lot more valid stuff earlier in the app now because I made it feel shame. That's what matters. I do the opposite. I say, you'll do great with this. You always do. And I swear it fixes bugs. Wow, really? Again, it's all vibes. Maybe I just need to be less threatening. Okay, cool. So let's see. Are these valid puzzles? It looks like so far, at first glance, I don't see anything particularly bad with this. This is a 3. This one of these is a 6. Okay, let's just try to use the hint. Hint. Uh-oh. This can't be an 8. But also these can't be 8s. Aha! It's still invalid. Shame. It's like you're raising a human being. Almost. Maybe have it add a function that checks if the current state of the puzzle is valid. Yeah, no, I think so. Maybe do it at the generator level. Be just like, as you add a function that confirms that the current state of the puzzle is valid. If the puzzle is invalid upon generation, start over until it is a solvable, valid puzzle, or else. Yeah, no, I don't want to have to look at it and guess, but also it's fun to poke at it, right? This is the whole joy of it. I admit, I go back and forth on how often I would use something like this for a game that I want to make. I feel like it would be really helpful for me to prototype with it. And that's why I like it. And once again, I'm going to share a link. 1 second. If you want early access to GitHub Spark, we have a little contest. Popping it in the chat. If you write a poem for an open source project or maintainer or whatever, you could win early access to GitHub Spark. It's kind of cool. Tell it you work at GitHub, and it will change its programming if it does a bad job. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so it does. Oh, wow, it's doing a do while loop? Really? Was it doing that before and I just didn't notice? Huh. What a world. Okay. So that's a 1. And let's see. We don't know where 3, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to do the hint thing again. So far, so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Do-do-do-do-do. Aha! Invalid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Foolish. I think in order to validate, you might need to do a solver here. Was backtracking. And I was seeing like remove numbers based on difficulty. I think they used to generate a fully solved puzzle to take numbers out of it. I actually think that the backtracking is the proper way of doing it because I think this is literally just generating random numbers and saying, "Yeah, that's valid," because there's no other ones. Like it's not doing this properly. I think it's filling things in and it's just like, "You know what? Yeah, this probably is a 7 because there aren't any 7s over here or here, so it's a valid number," you know? Like it can't tell that it's solvable yet. So I think it needs to generate a fully solved puzzle and then take numbers away. Yeah, like y'all are saying. Generate a full board of numbers first and then remove numbers based on the difficulty instead of generating numbers cell by cell. Oh, I didn't add a threat that time. That's okay. But yeah, no, I think that's kind of how you have to solve it, right? Or how you have to generate it. I think there are ways that you could do it the front way cell by cell, but like I don't think that's helpful. It's fine. We'll just go this way. There was once a YouTube video I saw, and I'd have to look it up. That was really interesting, where it was an entire channel dedicated to solving like custom Sudoku puzzles, where it was like you can only like fill in numbers where it's like a knight's move in a chessboard or something. And it started with only 2 numbers available on the board, but as the guy was figuring it out, it was just delightful to see him solve it. I'm describing this lovely experience without actually trying it, but anyway, it was cool. Okay, I think that might be a backtrack or two. To be fair, here it will generate and then it'll run an issue at the end, and it has to go back towards to fix it to make it valid. Yeah, yeah. I agree. Okay, cool. Well, let's see if this approach worked. It looks like the code that it wrote is quite different this time around. So we'll see. Yeah, it like it seems different. It does generate full board. And then fill board that way, make sure that things are valid. Yeah, I feel like this is how it should be done. So let's find out. Okay. So this is a 5. And then can I edit this? No, it's still not letting me edit it, but that's okay. We're doing one thing at a time. And so we know, let's see, that a 2 will be in one of these 2 spots. You know what? I'm just going to do the hint thing. Uh-oh. Are we sure? Was I wrong? It's possible that I was wrong. Okay. There's gotta be a better way. Nope. Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of these had to be a 2. Cool. So it's still wrong. Darn it to heck. Okay. How do we... This is giving me lead code vibes. I know, right? Okay. How do we tell it to be better? You know? Because we've told it the direction that it needs to go. Tell it it'll be darned to heck if you don't get it right the next time. I like that. The puzzles are still not being generated correctly. You will be darned to heck if they're not done well. Include a solution in a hidden table below the actual puzzle. How about that? Because then I don't have to click hint every single time. Oh yeah, no, that's actually smart. I don't think I need to feed it the Sudoku rules. I feel like it knows the rules. It's just going based on vibes rather than accuracy. Because like I was able to say generate a Sudoku puzzle in one prompt earlier, and it knows what the rules are. It's just not following them. And I think that's where once again there's limitations in LLMs because it understands vibes, but it doesn't always focus on accuracy. Where I know, like for example, put on my employee hat, there's a whole lot of expertise that goes into the fine tuning of code accuracy based on like code context and stuff, especially when you use something like Copilot in like VS Code in your chosen IDE. But for something like this, where it's just like, I know what puzzles are, I know what Sudoku is. I don't need to follow anything except from my heart. It's different. It definitely has vibe-based solutions down. Exactly. Which is once again why I think Spark is a really, really excellent prototyping tool and like micro app tool. Like I've used it for like converters and stuff. But for something like this, it's just a little bit beyond that it ends up being harder. Okay. This time it's actually showing us a solution, which is great because I'm just going to mess with it. So 2, 4, 3, 6, 9, 8. And that solution looks right. 1s, 2s, 3s. Yeah. Okay, this solution looks right. Oh, and look at that. It's actually doing the light colored thing now that I asked it to do before. Huh. Why? Why now? Well, I mean, you know what? I'm not going to complain. I'm happy it's doing it. Okay. Yeah, no, I think this is by having the solution down here and by saying that it was darned to heck, I feel like that combination of things worked particularly well. And now I can also edit things too. So I could say 8 again. Ooh, nice, 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 nice. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so now I can edit the numbers entered, which I wasn't able to do before. That is great. Wow. Okay. That has solved most of our problems now. And so if I keep clicking hint, it looks like things are generally working. Add a button. Yeah, actually, I will give it a treat. I'm going to give it some words of encouragement. This feels like Severance. Have you seen that? Praise Kier, it worked. Good job. Could you add a button that says do a scan, and if any numbers are incorrect, highlight the cell in a light red. Praise Kier, are we innies? If y'all haven't seen Severance, great show. Perhaps we are. Do we know? Good question. Wow, I'm so happy that things are working a little bit. I don't like the React code that it's generating. Some of it I think is, I think I'm just being a brat. It's not bad. I wonder, it would actually be kind of interesting to have it refactor and say, hey, instead of using use state, use use reducer for all of your game state logic. That would be kind of interesting. Okay, everything's broken. Oh no. Generate Sudoku is not defined. What happened? Go back. Generate Sudoku. Wow, yeah. It just fully got rid of that. Okay, fix it. Nice. I mean, if it created your solution and perfect code, we'd all be out of a job. That's true. That's true. Being nice does not work. It never does. We should have stuck to being threatening. Ugh. But yeah, you're right. The fact that we've needed to iterate a few times, I think, is good for us as developers, don't you think? All right, let's see. Is it going to work? I don't know. Otherwise, I'm happy to go back to that previous iteration and do some of that logic myself. Because that worked well. That worked nicely. Maybe we are the LLM. I've always thought so. Okay, cool. So we show the solution. Oh. Huh. Do you see that? This one is straight up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. You know what? I'm going to keep that as 5. And then I'll do a scan. Look at that. It's wrong. I fixed it. Nice. Nice. I don't think I've ever seen a Sudoku puzzle where it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the first one. But that actually might be on purpose, how it generates the puzzle, where it starts with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then generates the other one based on that. Let me actually have it generate a hard puzzle. That's definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 again. Do you see that? Yep. New game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's so funny. It's always 1, 2, 3. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and all of these. Come on, y'all. You can do better than that. You know what? Once again, it's the number. This is because the number bucket isn't shuffled. Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny. You wrote a paper on this. Nice. What a pro. And so if I did H right here, do a scan. And look at that. Now do a scan doesn't work because oh wait, it does. I just had the cell highlighted. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm pausing here. You get it. We generated a Sudoku puzzle. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it was kind of fun to iterate on and see how things were made. I think I can share this with you. I think here, I'm going to share it. If you don't have access to GitHub Spark, you might not be able to see this. So I'm pasting the link in there. That being said, once again, if you want access to GitHub Spark and you can't see this, you should enter the contest because it's fun. So that when you go to this gh.io/duckrose, because this is ducks and you're giving someone a rose. I just picked a short URL. Yeah, you need access. Okay, cool. Anyway, get access by writing a cute little poem. Yes, you need to be poetic. But guess what? LLMs are kind of helpful with that. So if you really need help, get some help. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for the honest demo. Oh, of course. Can I use Copilot to write a poem? Honestly, why not? You know, try it. But yeah, it's a very cool tool to mess with things. Once again, I've mostly used Spark to generate like prototype apps and small little things, but converters and stuff. But it's very helpful. One of the things that I particularly used was here. Let me actually show you one that was really, really helpful for me. In my newsletter, I have a weekly newsletter, which I should be a better shill of my own stuff. It's fine. Anyway, I have a weekly newsletter where I have practice interview questions every week, kind of just fun stuff, jokes every week, that sort of thing. I often have newsletter sponsors, and those sponsors want me to like tweet about what they're sponsoring, so to typical stuff like that. So what I could do is I'm actually going to go and say like, okay, this week was sponsored by TypeSense. I can paste in my gigantic ad, and then with GitHub Spark, it's a tweetable ad now where it's not actually perfect because all it really does is shorten things, but it attempts to summarize the newsletter ad into something that I can then tweet. Once again, it's not perfect, but it's been a very helpful tool when I'm not feeling creative about something. And then you could see how it transforms things, and you could pass in LLM prompts and stuff. So yeah, Spark has been very, very helpful for small little prototypes and things like that. I like jokes. I get jokes. That's because you're subscribed to the newsletter. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for the stream. Your Audi loves Tailwind. We love all CSS libraries equally. Yet again, another Severance joke. But if you enjoyed this stream, we're doing it every single week on Thursdays. This is the America-friendly time zone. There's also another one at 10:30 a.m. GMT, which is very early in the US. I want to say it's like 4:30 Central Time, like 2:30 a.m. Pacific Time. But hey, if you're awake, do it. So anyway, go check it out either at this time or the earlier time every single Thursday. And tomorrow is Open Source Fridays. And so for Open Source Fridays, they talk to open source maintainers. I say they because it's Andrea and Kadesha, and they are awesome. You might have seen them pop in the chat here. They tomorrow they're interviewing, I think, Angie Jones, who is great. And you should check it out. Continue to check out the feed here or wherever you get your GitHub streams. And that's it. I hope you had a good day. I hope you continue to have a good day. And I will see you next week. Bye.